This is a money management system. It's a little different than a budget. It is a system in order for you to manage your money. It is called the JAR system. And it's called the JAR system. Denise, why? Do you remember why?
Yes, I do. Because you have separate jars that you're going to, in jars, figuratively speaking, but that you're going to save money toward for each month, and you'll put so much in this jar, that depending on what those items are that you want to add the money for. You
Yes.
want to save the money for it.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Very good. Very good. And she says figuratively because most people now are saving their monies in separate accounts. I recommend an online bank where you can have multiple accounts. I have one main account, and then under that main account, I have like 25 different savings accounts under that, which are my 25 jars, if you will. And it's really easy with online banks. Some of the more traditional banks, it can be a little harder to have multiple accounts. So getting an online bank account in addition to your traditional bank is highly recommended if you don't already have a bank where you can easily make multiple accounts that way. There usually are no fees, and are usually no to low fees, and are usually a higher interest rate anyway. So I just highly recommend that. And you could use physical jars, you could use envelopes if you want to, but most people are going to use these online accounts. So with that being said, what the different categories are number one, Denise, what's number one?
Necessities.
Necessities. And tell the people, what does that include?
It could include bills, your groceries, laundry, anything that you have to have money toward.
Yes.
Should be approximately 50% of your money you're working with.
Yes.
Period. Okay. Does that mean net, gross? The money, all the money.
Good Pardon? Question. I said that's a good question. I tend to, it can be either way. It just depends on how you're going to manage your money. If you're going to manage your money from gross, then that means you have to include everything that's being taken out of that check as part of your necessities, like the taxes and any other fees that are coming out of that check. That then goes under necessities. Or you could do the net, and then you don't have to worry about that stuff because you're not seeing it anyway. And you could just do the 50% from net for all the rest of your necessities that you physically yourself will be paying. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, great question. So yes, so that is necessities. Very good. What's the next category?
Education.
All right, tell them what education is.
Anything you would consider being part of your learning. Your learning could be school loans, it could be books, it could be training classes you're doing, any kind of thing that contributes to your education, your self-learning.
Yes, ma'am. And how much is that supposed to be?
That is 10% of your monies, of your total.
Yes. So speaking of going back to what you asked about gross or net, so people, what we're talking about is any check, any money, any income you receive should be split up into these percentages and put into these jars and put into these accounts. If you have a regular set check coming in that you know is the same amount every week, every 2 weeks, every month, on the 1st or the 15th, whatever it is, if you have that, you can make it automated. You can automate it so that automatically on the 15th, when your check comes in, 50% goes into this account over here, 10% goes into this education account, and we'll get into the rest of what they are. You can make it automated. If you have additional monies coming in, or if your money is not consistent, it's not a set thing, then you will manually have to do this, and that's fine. People who have both, you can make the regular check automated, and then just manually any additional monies that comes in, you can do this with. And so that's how we're going to manage your money so that it grows. When you're able to manage your money, the money grows, as well as just your abundance and your prosperity period in general grows as well. So the next category is what?
Savings, long-term savings for spending.
Yes, the short way of doing that is LTSS, and it's definitely long-term savings for spending. So we want to be intentional that this is not just long-term savings for nothing. We have an intention with what we're going to spend this money on. What are some examples of things we could be spending this money on, Denise?
Bills, those that you have, are coming, or like you plan on
Oh,
taking.
let's be clear. Bills, like monthly payments or something, that goes out of necessities.
Right.
So be a little more specific what you mean about that.
I have I bought a new like your car. Okay, that would be one. Or the new appliance you bought that you spent $1,100 for, and it's a long term. You're going to have it month after month after month, but it will be paid off. So those long term expenses that you pay off eventually.
Yes. So
Okay.
basically you'll have the monthly part of that bill will come out of necessities, but then we're also having this portion over here that we're saving towards to go towards the payoff, the payoff amount. So you can pay it off early, hopefully, is the goal here.
Mhm.
Yes. Very good. What else comes out of LTSS?
I wrote contingency down.
Contingency is another account you want to make sure you have. We specifically use the word contingency versus emergency because we don't want to manifest any emergencies in our lives. But we do want to have contingency fund money for any surprises or challenges that may show up in our lives. So we have that.
I want to get a new washing machine, and I know that mine isn't broken yet, but I know I want. So that would be something that I'll be saving this money up for that.
Okay, I wouldn't consider that contingency.
No, I'm saying that's a long
That's an
term.
additional one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You could use it for something like that. Long-term savings for spending could also be for a vacation, if you're saving up for a house or a down payment on a house. Any big thing that you want to save money for, whether it is something that you're going to purchase or something that you've already purchased that you want to do a lump sum payoff for. So that is long-term savings for spending.
Spring break trip next year.
There you go. Yep. Cruise. Yep.
Jane's working on that one.
Yes.
Okay. My next one.
Oh, wait. We didn't say how much this one's supposed to be.
Oh, this one's 10% also.
Yes, 10%. And notice, this is one of the ones that a lot of times, I know for me personally, I have several LTSS accounts because I have one for my different credit cards. I have one, I have one for my credit cards. I have one for like vacations. I have one for like gifts that I want to give to other people. So I have multiple long-term savings, and then I think I have one for my student loan too. So like I have multiple ones. So let's say if you were to have 5 long-term savings for spending, each one would be how much?
If I was saving all of them equally, they would each be 2% because all 5 of them would comprise that 10%.
Yes, ma'am. Great. Excellent. All right. What's the next one?
Financial freedom account.
And what is that?
That is like for investments. Okay. And that is 10% also.
And when investments, what do investments include?
Stocks, those kind of like the Bitcoin, that kind of anything that you're investing in as far as for your future.
Yes.
What about like big insurance, the lifetime insurance policies, those kind?
That's a good question. I mean, if for you that is an investment, then absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some people might like put that in their bills or their necessities, but you could put it in your investments. And again, I want to be clear, like this is flexible. Yours will look different than the next person's. And so for you, and life insurance may go in investments, but somebody else, they might put it in necessities. And that's fine. Some people will have an account for, so some people might put like their Starbucks in their necessities because it's like, I need that every week or every day. I need that every day, that Starbucks. Some people will put that in their play because it's not like a necessity, so it depends on where you see it fitting into your money management system. So this is flexible in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep. Cool. Good question.
That is also 10%.
Yes. Yes, and you can have multiple there too, because you might have money going into your stocks or your investment account. You might have some money going into real estate. You might have money going into your business. Your business should be financial freedom as well. So similarly to what we said with LTSS, if you have multiple, just make sure that the totality is 10%.
Gotcha.
Cool. What's the next one?
My play account.
Yes. What's that for?
Anything I want it to be for, what I want to do. And the thing about this is you have to use this 10% at least once a month, but some people do it once a week. Some people do it, okay, time to go. So that's 10% also, but that's like whatever you want it to be. That's going get your nails done. That's going shopping. I'm going to the movies. Let's go to and go rent bikes and ride out in the park. So but it's the thing that's different about the rest. This one you have to do and have to do frequently, because that's rewarding you while every time you get paid.
Yes.
And that one's 10% also.
Yes. That's my favorite account, y'all. Yes. And then what is the last one?
Is the final one is giving or tithing, and that's 10% also.
Yes. And that can be to wherever you are spiritually fed. So if that's church, great. If that is like an animal life reserve place because you feel nature or animals feed you spiritually, that's great. If you feel like yoga feeds you spiritually, then maybe you'll find a nonprofit yoga place to donate to. Whatever you feel. I know a lot of people feel like the arts feed them spiritually, so you could find like maybe the Actors Fund or some sort of I know Atlas is another nonprofit for like filmmakers and artists, performing artists. So maybe a nonprofit like that. But those are just different examples of places that you could tithe or give to, like that are charities. Did you have
Boys and Girls Club?
Mm.
Those that believe the children are our future, but that you want to give and donate to those kind of programs or summer programs for kids, and if that you feel like giving to and investing in our future.
Now I want to be clear about our language. So this is I understand what you mean by investing in our future, and also I don't want us to think about it as an investment for ourselves, but more this is giving free and clear.
Yeah. You know? Okay. That was more of a question, not an answer. So I was wondering.
Oh, got you.
So,
okay. Okay.
If I wanted to,
sorry. So what was the question then?
So it's like if you wanted to give, I want to donate of me to the kids or to something that, well, that wouldn't be like being fed. But if I wanted to donate to the children, to like.
Good question. Yeah. Okay, I understand your question now. Okay, so 10% needs to go where you're getting spiritually fed. Then you can do above and beyond to somewhere like a Boys and Girls Club or somewhere else. And I recommend that. Like if you have it to give above and beyond 10%, the more you give, the more abundance you're just going to have in your life, because God rewards that, God blesses that, right?
Right.
So yeah, but you want the 10% to go to God, whatever God looks like for you. You know
right.
what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Is that, I mean, that's just a divine number, that 10 needs to go there. Yeah.
Oh, that's biblical. So absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that all together adds up to 100% of your income.
Yes, ma'am. And so do you have questions other than the ones you already posed?
Nope.
About that? No. Okay, cool.
Wait a minute. Not about what we said so far, but what I was asking about the other night, where I said I wanted to talk about it further. I don't have the jars, but I have all my checks are direct deposited. And instead of the jars like this, I have it's my bill pay, basically. I have my church in there. I've got all my bills in there. I got, what else? Finance, my investments, whatever, my life insurance policies, that kind of thing. Where we were talking about the either the net or the gross. the all my taxes and insurance and all of that stuff comes out before I get it. So based on this, I think it will work better for me with the net, because when I get my money, they've already taken out what I don't get to make decisions about. So then I would do 100% of my net.
Mhm.
Um, so would that work as far as the jars? My
Yeah.
bills
So
there, I
what
could,
yeah,
yeah,
so what I recommend with you, you already have them auto paid out of your main banking account, right?
right, right.
So most of those, it sounds like, are probably necessities.
Um, um, yes, most of those are necessities. Yeah,
Okay.
yep,
So yes, I would, first of all, what I would do is get a good handle on what you are spending your money on. So I would go back through, and for like a month, maybe 3 months is best, honestly, to get
okay,
an idea of monthly, like what you're spending your money on. And really, and it can be tedious, but it's really, really helpful and rewarding, and can and will really just help to be able to manage this system and be able to really grow your money. But yeah, go back 3 months and figure out where your money's going, and then from those numbers we can get an accurate assessment of like, okay, this is the amount that's currently going. So this is the destination on the GPS.
right,
Now we need to figure out where you're starting, right?
okay,
So we need,
yeah,
that's why we need to do the 3 month assessment. Where are you? How
mm-hmm,
much of your money is going to necessities? How much is going to these other things, if any at all? So then
mm-hmm,
then we'll know where you're starting, and then we can figure out a path to get you to this what I just described to you right now.
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so based on this and where I am, I my house payment's a necessity, but I pay my house payment and then I make an extra, just principal payment whenever I get paid. Well, now it's every month I do that. That was part of the refinancing. So I'm 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 in more than that 10%. I mean, I'm in more than that. That takes me up over that 50%. I do that with my house payment. I do that with my my car is a little extra, but that's it. Because I have 0% financing, so it's not an incentive to hurry up and get it paid off.
Mhm.
So,
So what we
I,
would do is, we would, once you get an assessment of all, your 3 months, and we figure out where your money is, then we can finesse the numbers. Like, so we might, the payment, the minimum payment, or the payment that's actually due, we might put that under your necessities. But that above and beyond payment that you're doing, we would probably consider that going under long-term savings for spending, even though you're actually doing it weekly or monthly.
okay,
You know
okay,
what I
okay,
mean? Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
okay. So
So
I
we,
would do that. That's one of my takeaways here. 3 months
yes,
analysis. Okay.
yes, very good. That's a great question. Any other questions?
What is my goal? What is my end goal?
Your end goal. Can you be more specific? Like what?
Yes. Okay. So this is how I'm going to make money. This is how wealthy people, when I figure out how, when I get to where I have 50% going here, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, I'm going to start, making it financially is going to help me, because at that point I will be able to see
Okay. What? That's the question.
what,
What? Okay,
yes,
got you.
yeah,
Got you. Okay. So number one, I mean, you're probably already doing this, but number one, just with the giving portion alone, that's going to, abundance is coming, because that's
mhm,
that's just the law. That's just the universal law. That's God's law. You're giving 10% on a regular basis. You're going to get above and beyond. So there's that. With the long-term savings for spending, you're going to have places to draw from to be able to do the things that you want to do,
okay,
and
yep,
that goes for education as well. It's like, these are important areas in your life, and it's like you're going to have to be able to draw from these areas and
okay,
know what's in there, so that you're not over extending
gotcha,
yourself.
okay,
Or if you do overextend yourself, it's conscious, and okay, so this is now going to be part of a bill, or, you know, that I'm going to be paying on, or, you know, an investment that I'm going to be paying back, you know. So but it's just, it's more conscious spending. And the more you're conscious about your spending and where your money goes, the more what you focus on grows. So when
Gotcha.
we get this focused on our money, it's going to grow just in and of itself. Then also you have this specific money that you are putting away, putting aside to invest in whatever the ways you are investing. That's super important because that's your vehicle for financial freedom. And honestly, this is the goal. This is the first goal. This is just the milestone though, because
Okay.
eventually we want to get your necessities down to 30, 35% and get your financial freedom account up to that 50%. So eventually that's the goal. But this is the first milestone.
Right.
And then we'll eventually get there. But that's how you become rich. That's how you become wealthy, leveraging that financial freedom account
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
and building your money. Yeah, because we
Yeah.
don't ever want to touch that goose egg.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. That's what I needed. That's what I was trying to get to. Okay, what I understand we can get it all here, but where am I trying to get to with it? But that makes sense.
The biggest thing is what I said is just where what you focus on grows. So if we're this focused on our money and managing it, it's just going to grow as a result of that.
Okay.
Yes. What was that smile for?
Because um I, it just made sense. And what you focus on grows. That's again focusing on it. And if you focus on it, it becomes not just I have to remember to think about it and oh I forgot, but if you're focused on it, then everything will feed into that. Okay. And just becomes very intentional. That's all. It was just making sense. Like, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh
Cool.
got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Wait, okay.
Hey, okay. Yes, ma'am. That's it.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of gems in hip hop. It's a lot of jewels in there. People be
Oh
sleeping.
yeah.
People be
Yeah.
sleeping. They were conscious. They were really conscious. They are.